Hi there, it's Paul Parker. It's 11:41 on the 1st of August 2023 and I'm going to be driving the Atkins Logistics route number 5 and also videoing in real time, so we'll get a feel for what this route is like. We're not at the very start, which is junction 29 of the M6. I'm just on the roundabout getting to that point, so I'll let you know when we get to that junction and we can officially start the route. So just got to go right round this roundabout. Most of the traffic's heading south on the motorway. So here's junction 29 of the M6. Tricky junction here because there's a blind entry to it. And now we're going to join the M65. So we've officially started. We're right at the western end of the M65, nearer Preston. So this is only a short joining of the M65. It will end very shortly in a sharp roundabout or semi-roundabout, or even a large curve to the right. So Zavosa Centre on the right as well. For catching overladen trucks. So the curve goes round. It's like a roundabout, but it has an adverse camber to it, which I hope you can see. Maybe not. And we exit the M65 and we're coming down to the A582. There's a filter lane on the left, which I'm going to take onto the A582 Flensburg Way, which I believe is part of what they call the southern distributor for Preston, i.e. it takes traffic away from the centre, which used to be a problem many months ago. So joining traffic has to filter down from 3 lanes into 2 on Flensburg Way, but it's quite a nice dual carriageway. It takes a lot of traffic. And now there's a 3-lane entry into the roundabout, 1 going off on the last junction and 2 going straight ahead. This does have quite a sharp turn on it, so can be a bit fraught if you have heavy goods vehicles in the lane that I'm in currently and you're travelling in the lane on the right where that yellow truck is, because both of these lanes go straight on. They cut down to a single lane almost immediately on the exit. So let's just see how this goes. So we're going round. Yep, there we go. Cuts down to single lane because we're going to cross the railway and there is only 2-way traffic on this bridge. So we're on the approach. We've got a traffic island here to constrict the roadway a bit. Not necessarily for pedestrians, but to constrain people travelling at speed, because this is a long, straightish stretch of road up to the bridge. Has a blind summit, of course. But most days, particularly at peak hours, this is busy with traffic in both directions, because just over the brow of the hill and to the left through the hedge there's quite a large industrial area which has companies like Amazon, Leyland, DAF, and will shortly have a huge distribution warehouse for a company called Victoria Plum. So this is busy usually at peak times with HGVs, people commuting to get to the motorway from Leyland and southern Preston. So this will be busy. As I say, we're at 11:45 in the morning, so we're not at peak time yet, but this will be full of people. Coming up to two mini roundabouts in quick succession here. The industrial estate, or the large industrial estate just off to the left, you can see all the Amazon Prime wagons coming out on their deliveries. We love Prime, and we're going to take a right here at this roundabout. Not really a mini roundabout, but not a large one either. Let's call it a small one. So we're heading now on to what is Flensburg Way still, the A582. Quite a long curve here, very gentle, so easy to pick up a bit of speed. Coming up to a roundabout, we're going to take the B5253 for Leyland, which is Schleswig Way. Going to get in the far left-hand lane. There's a large housing estate on the left which has gone up in the last 2 years or so. I think there's 450 houses maybe going on that site, and our 2-lane entry, 2-lane exit is actually coming down to 1 now on the B5253 Schleswig Way. Still quite a wide road though. Turning on the roundabout, you'll head into Leyland. The last 2 turnings on the roundabout take you into an industrial area that's quite large as well. Lots of deliveries, food produce, that sort of thing. And we're going straight on, of course, following the tanker on the B5253. Warnings about pedestrians, because this road does cut across a number of public footpaths, public rights of way. There's one just we've just passed, and I'll point out there's another 2 here as well further down. You can tell trucks use the road because it's quite badly scuffed, and also they are parked in the laybys along its length. Here, and of course at the traffic lights where Schleswig Way has now cut the B5248, which is Dunkirk Lane, which is the traffic that is perpendicular to us. That's the B5248. Once we get through the lights, we will be continuing on the B5253 so that we can get further south, because that's our direction of travel currently. I'm going to hang back from the tanker so that we can get a view of the road. Another set of lights here to allow people to cross new housing estate gone in here on the left, and you can see the signs, love it. Quite a large development, that one. Still residential here, although we're starting to transition into a semi-rural environment, and now our speed restriction goes up to 40 miles an hour, and we'll stay at 40 miles an hour along the entire length of Leyland Lane until we meet the A581 Southport Road. So quite a good B road. It has numerous entries and exits off it into private properties, and sort of side roads as well. So Hollins Lane is just coming up on the right, and these access farms and residential properties. Just moving from South Ribbleborough into Chorley and Elms Walton. Two junctions coming up here. Holker Lane is just on the right, that connects with Elms Walton Lane. It's a single carriageway, and there's on the left there is Flag Lane, which takes you over towards the outer skirts of Leyland. Sharp right-hand bend coming up here, indicated by the chevrons, but still good room for manoeuvre for a B road. Curves around a little more gently here into a dip, at which there is a sharp left-hand turn indicated by the two side chevrons. But it's got a hatched area in the middle to allow larger vehicles to manoeuvre, which is a good thing. We're coming up now to the end of Leyland Lane, and it'll meet at a mini roundabout with the A581 Southport Road, which we will join by turning right. Nice large farm tractor, straight over the roundabout, raised portion of the island. Turned in right here onto the A581 Southport Road, which is normally 40 miles an hour. This is controlled by average speed cameras now, installed fairly recently. And we'll be down to 30 miles an hour once we cross the boundary into Elms Walton. So just adjusting speed. Signposted as 30 with speed cameras, so there should be no excuses. Large timber merchants on the right, and on the left we've got Gilson's petrol station and the junction for New Lane with the Rose and Crown pub on the right as well. There's also, just coming up on the right, the entrance to Barlow's Trailers. They have significant deliveries on perhaps dual trailered HGVs as well. Just going to turn right into Elms Walton Lane, which is the C195, clearly signposted 7.5 ton limit except for access. Just turning in, and the junction heads north and south for Elms Walton Lane are the widest parts of the road. They are around 6 metres width, curb to curb, inside curb to inside curb. Clear sign for equestrian road users here for 1.5 miles. There is an equestrian centre coming up just after this lay-by where the trucks are. You'll see where that vehicle's just come out of. There's a blue sign, that's the livery yard. There's also an elderly nursing home, a care home on the right, and we do have people walking on this road at this point, not just here but along its length, because it does have footpaths. It's part of the Lancashire Cycleway, as you can see. We've got cyclists on it just there on the opposite carriageway. We're now approaching Lostock Bridge. This area does flood particularly badly in the last month. This was flooded out. In fact, this bungalow on the right hand side was flooded out too. Very bad right hand bend on the exit of Lostock Bridge. Scene of quite a few accidents. There's a gentle curve round which turns into a more stiffer curve to the left. Warning sign for, give cyclists plenty of space. We curve round gently to the right, and we'll pass just on the left where the car is now. There's Bullen's Barn, and opposite that is a bus stop. This is probably one of the narrowest measured areas of the roadway, 5.1 metres, and we're turning left into Moss Lane to access HMP, Wymot and Garth. And I'll stop the video at this point.